If you're trying to keep up with information from YouTube, tweets and articles, and it's starting to feel like a full-time job, leaving you overwhelmed instead of actually learning, this video might be seriously a game changer for you. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to use AI-powered, voice-controlled knowledge management system I built in Notion. It pulls in valuable content automatically and lets you interact with everything by voice. And yeah, it's kind of like having your own personal Jarvis. Let's break it down. Hey, my name is Matt. I'm the founder of Execution Mastery with Matt, and I built a live operating system in Notion that's powered by AI. It helps me stay organized and in control of every part of my life while spending as little time as possible on day-to-day management. Okay, before we jump in, let me give you a quick overview of what we are going to cover so you know exactly how it all fits together. First, I will show you how to set up the Notion dashboard and add your content sources. Then we will look at how the system pulls new content in automatically every day and how you can organize everything: books, articles, tweets, videos, right inside Notion. After that, I will walk you through how to use voice-controlled, AI-powered assistant to review content, ask follow-up questions, and even save notes. Hands-free. By the end, you will know exactly how to use the system to build your own personal knowledge base and make your learning process way more effective, intentional, and way less overwhelming. So once you have your knowledge board set up from template in your Notion workspace, to start using the system, at first you have to define content sources from which the automation will pull the content every night on automation. If you know which content sources you want to follow, that's great, you can start from there right away. But if you don't know that, you can use AI to help you brainstorm on which content sources are worth following for you in your specific situation. So let's go to ChatGPT and let's paste this prompt. Hey, I would like to expand my knowledge on content marketing. Can you propose few YouTube channels, Twitter accounts, or websites with articles I should follow? And now once we get the results, we see that the YouTube channels for us worth following if we want to expand our knowledge on content marketing is, for example, Ahrefs. So let's copy Ahrefs and let's go to YouTube. And let's paste this here. And now what we need from this YouTube channel is YouTube channel ID. And to obtain that, we have to click More, then scroll down, click Share Channel, and copy channel ID. And once we have that channel ID, we can go back to Notion. So now in Notion, to add this YouTube channel as a content source, the easiest way to do it is to click this Add Video button on the right. And then for format, you have to choose YouTube. For YouTube channel name, just pick whatever name you want. We'll call it the same as the channel name, Ahrefs. Then for YouTube channel ID, paste the channel ID that we just copied. For status, choose active. And when it comes to type, I distinguish 4 types of content that I'm consuming. The first one is towards current goals, and these are content sources that are helping me to reach my goals that I'm working on right now. So for example, if my goal is to expand my YouTube channel, then I would watch some content on content marketing and building YouTube channels. And for example, this particular YouTube channel, Ahrefs, would fall under this category. The second type is horizons broadening, and as the name suggests, these are the content sources that are helping me to broaden my horizons and to acquire knowledge that I didn't even know exists. So for example, some new discoveries in technology. The expertise building are the content sources that are helping me to stay on top of the information in my area of expertise, which in my case is AI and automation. So whenever there are some new discoveries, some new developments in this space, I want to stay on top of that, so I would follow some creators that are talking about it. And for global awareness, these are the sources that help me to stay on top of the news, what's happening in the world, what's happening in the politics, geopolitics, etc. So once you're done filling in this form, just click Submit, then click Away. And now we can see that this content source was added, but there are no any YouTube videos yet. So to pull the videos into Notion, you have to specify your email on the right here. And this is very important to specify the email that you use to purchase AI Assistant, because this feature, this automation, and any automation in this Notion system will work only if you purchased AI Assistant. If you haven't done it yet, there will be a link down in the description where you can go and buy it. So make sure that the email matches the email that you used for purchasing AI Assistant. And once it's there, just click this refresh icon on the left here, and you can close the popping window. And now we can see that the videos are being pulled into Notion. And as you can see, the last fetched column was set to current date, which is the date of the trigger of that automation. And if you run it for the next time, the automation will pull only the videos from that date on. So we make sure there are no duplicates in Notion system. Okay, let's add the next content source, and this time let's go with Twitter account. So let's go to ChatGPT again. And if we scroll down to Twitter X accounts, we can choose, for example, let's choose the third one, Andy Crestodina. So let's go to Twitter. Actually, we have the handle here, but I will go to Twitter just to show you how you can obtain it. Let's search for Andy Crestodina. And then let's copy the handle without @ so only Crestodina here. Let's copy it and let's go back to Notion. So now to add Twitter account in Notion, we have to click Add Twitter on the right side here. And actually, you can also do it by adding new page here or here, but the easiest way is to do it through form by clicking Add Twitter button. So let's choose Twitter. For Twitter account name, I will put Andy Crestodina. For Twitter username, just paste what we copied. Then status active, and for type, I will also choose towards current goals and submit. Click away. And now let's refresh again. Now the tweets should start showing up in Notion and we can see them here. And also you can see the number of content for that particular content source increasing. Now let's add the next content source, this time with articles. Let's go with BBC News, for example. In order to link BBC News with our Notion system, we need to obtain RSS feed URL for BBC News. So let's search for it in Google. Let's put BBC News RSS feed. And now we just have to find this link. Not every website will provide it, but if they do, you should be able to find it via Google. So let's go here, News Headlines UK edition. Okay, we see some links here. That definitely looks like RSS URL. It will end with rss.xml. So let's copy the first one for front page and let's go back to Notion system. So now in Notion, we add the source again by clicking Add Article this time. Let's choose article. Let's call it BBC News. And here we have to paste this RSS feed URL, which we just copied. Status active, of course. And for type, let's choose global awareness this time. Submit and click away. And now once we click refresh again, we should start seeing articles being pulled into Notion. And they are perfect. If you want to see the content items that are linked to particular content source, you can just open this content source in the side pick and click New Content Source Template, and it will create Notion page from the template, which will have database with all the content items that are linked to this particular content source. By the way, while I was recording this video, I realized that the names of the buttons here were quite confusing because add video, add Twitter or add article suggested that we are adding content item, but we are actually adding content source here. So I changed the names to add YouTube source, add tweets source and add article source. I hope it will be more clear now. One more thing worth mentioning here is the status column with which we can control from which sources the content will be pulled once we run the automation. So once we click refresh, the automation will pull content only for the sources that has status set to active. If it's set to not active, it will be skipped by the automation. And if you don't click refresh, the automation will run anyway every night for every content source that has status set to active. After the content sources has been defined and entered into Notion system, we can now focus on content items that are actually the items that we will be consuming. So from now on, we can switch to AI Assistant and start consuming our knowledge using AI Assistant. But before we do that, I want to still show you everything in Notion template to make sure that you are aware of everything what's available here. So let's start from the content status. We have 5 different statuses for every piece of content. The first one is to review. And this is the default status that is being given after the content is being pulled into Notion by the automation. Then if we talk to AI assistant and some content item is particularly interesting to us, we can ask AI assistant to mark it as to consume and save it for later. These are the content items that we actually wanna see visually. So for example, the video we actually wanna watch or the article we actually wanna read. And once we change its status to consume, then it will show up on this view here. And then for example, when I'm on the plane, I would just go through all the to consume items and I will watch them visually. Then we have in progress, and I'm using it whenever there is, for example, long video and I actually wanna watch it and I start watching it and I don't finish, then I will mark it as in progress. So I know that this is something I should watch first because this is something I already started and I want to finish it. Then if particular content is reviewed or consumed, we can ask AI assistant to mark it as completed and it will end up on this list here. And let's say we are surfing through YouTube and we run into video that is interesting to us, but it's from the creator that we are not following and we don't want to add this creator as a content source, but we want to add this particular video into our system. So let's say this video, what never to say in a meeting reminder. So let's copy the link to this video. And then in Notion, we can just add this content item by clicking new. What never to say in a meeting reminder. Format, of course, it's YouTube. Published, it's not required. Content source will be empty because we are not following this source. And then just paste the URL here. And now this video will be also available to AI assistant. On the top of the knowledge board, we can see the chart showing us how many content items we have for consumption or for review. So for example, here we have 33 articles, 17 Twitter posts, and 16 YouTube videos, one of which is in to consume status and 15 of which are in to review status. In this knowledge board, we can also track all the books we are reading. And to reach the shelf with books, we can just click books here. And then we will see all the books that we are reading or we have read in the past. So the ones with status completed are the ones we already read. The ones with the status in progress are the ones we are actually reading right now. And if we want to add some books to our read list for later, we can just add them here and give them status to consume. And I will show you in a second how we can add books to this database quickly using Notion Web Clipper. But before we do it, let's look into courses database, because here you can also track all the courses, either paid or free, you are consuming, and you can track and save notes for each of them here. So as I mentioned, you can use Notion Web Clipper to quickly capture information into Notion system. You can of course do it with AI assistant as well, and I will show you how in a second. But if you are surfing through the internet and you run into something interesting, you can just quickly use Notion Web Clipper to save it into Notion without even opening AI assistant. So in Google, I type Notion Web Clipper and then go for the first one. Install for Chrome, add to Chrome, add extension. Great, and now we have Notion Web Clipper installed in our web browser. So let's say that friend told you about a great book, for example, Think and Grow Rich, and you Googled it and you read the description and it's something you actually want to read and you want to capture it to your Notion system. So to do that, you just have to click this browser extension here, then choose the database to which you want to add this. In our case, it's going to be books database, and then click Save Page. And you can open that saved page in Notion to fill in missing properties. For example, author, so we can just copy it from here. Napoleon Hill. Let's clear the title. For the description, we can leave it empty or we can just put how to get rich, whatever. Status is filled in automatically. For the cover, we can just copy this image. So copy link to original, then embed link. And format, let's say it's ebook. You can also assign knowledge areas if you want, but you don't have to, and I will talk about knowledge areas in a minute. So now when you go to knowledge board, you will see this book added to your bookshelf. And as you can see, with just few clicks and Notion Web Clipper, you can easily add books, courses, or content pieces into your Notion system. Now let's talk about notes and thoughts database, which can be found below. This database is for capturing any thoughts or notes that you want to capture in your Notion system while consuming content or reading books. Most of the time you will be capturing notes while talking to AI assistant. When you stumble upon something interesting, you will just tell AI assistant to save it and it will do it for you. But you also have an option to do it manually if you want, so I will show you how. To add a note, you can just click new here. And then let's say we were consuming this YouTube video. Watch this if your website gets under 10K visits per month. And let's say there is a strategy that we want to capture. So for example, Ahrefs has very good strategy on increasing visits. This strategy is, and you can just save whatever you want to save. And of course you can link it to this YouTube video. So just choose source content. And as I said, if you do it through AI Assistant, it will be linked automatically as well, so we don't have to do it manually, but in case you want it, I just want you to know that it's also possible. And then if you open the page for this video, click New Content Template, you will also see this note here from that view. So you can see it here and you can see it down where you see all the notes saved in your Notion system. And they are grouped by date added. So all the notes from today will be under one group and all the notes from yesterday will be under other group, etc. And you can also see here the column transcript. This will be used by AI Assistant because sometimes you can just tell AI Assistant to save a note and you can tell it in a very messy words. So it will create a clear version of what you just said and it will save it as a note. And under the transcript, it will save the word by word what you actually said, because maybe you will need it for reference later when you actually analyzing the notes. The last database in the system is Knowledge Areas database. And this is the ultimate database for saving all your notes, pretty much like your ultimate knowledge base. So here you can group areas into subgroups. So for example, for digital marketing, I have search engine optimization, social media marketing, email marketing under this bigger group, which is digital marketing. And this is pretty flexible, so we can even go deeper under search engine optimization. Maybe there are some subtopics of it. So my framework is that I will, for example, gather notes for digital marketing. And if it becomes too big, then I will split it into a few subtopics and move them into separate pages in Notion. So if we open, for example, search engine optimization notes, you can see that I have all the notes. This is the sample I created. This is not my personal workspace, of course. And also you can see all the references that are linked to this particular knowledge area. For example, all the books that are linked to this knowledge area, all the content items, all the courses, and all the notes. So it allows me to see everything I came across and I wanted to capture for later in one place related to that particular topic. And here I have all these topics gathered in one database. There is one more additional section below. It's called AI Assistant Settings. So all the automations are relying on the proper structure of the Notion template. If you copied Notion system from template, then everything is ready and correct. But if you change something, if you change the structure of the database, if you change the field names, if you remove some field names, it will not work. So in order for AI Assistant and all the automations to work, the structure of the database needs to be exactly as it is when you're copying it. I mean, at least the fields that were provided. If you want to add some additional fields, some additional properties, go for it, but do not change the ones that were already there if you want AI Assistant to work properly. And if you run into any issues with working AI Assistant, before contacting our customer support, please go here to AI Assistant settings and check if the structure of your workspace is correct. And you can do it by clicking Validate Structure here. You can close the popping window. And if anything is wrong, then you will see the warning here indicating what is wrong and what you should change. So let me actually simulate that situation. Let's go to Books database and let's change the field from author to authors, which is different than the automation is expecting. And now as we click Validate Structure and we close the popping window, we should see in a second information what is wrong with our structure. And as you can see, we see warning missing required field author because we changed it to authors, so author doesn't exist anymore. So now you know what you need to fix in your workspace for automations to work again. So let's go back to Books database. Let's change it back to author. And let's validate the structure again. And now we're back to green, which means everything is correct. And if you see only the green check marks in your settings, it means your Notion workspace structure is correct and everything should work smoothly. Now I will show you how to use AI Voice Assistant. And with Voice Assistant, you can ask how much content do you have in the database. You can ask it to pull the next content item, either YouTube video, Twitter post, or article. Then you can ask follow-up questions. You can ask it to explain you something in more simple words. You can ask it to search in Google if some information is missing in the video. Then you can ask it to change the status of the particular content. For example, to consume or completed. You can ask it to save a note and link it to particular video or article. You can also ask it to save a book or save a course. So when I open my custom GPT in a voice mode, it will show at the beginning this blue circle. It means that ChatGPT is in advanced voice mode, and in advanced voice mode, we cannot actually use it because I believe it's a bug on ChatGPT side that it will not be able to access Notion database in this advanced voice mode. So to use it, we have to kick it out from this advanced voice mode, and I do it just by tapping this microphone icon and telling it, hey, what content do I have in the database? And then it will transcribe what I said, and when I click send, then it will actually call Notion database and retrieve the amount of content I have. And from now on, once we go in the voice mode, it will not go into advanced voice mode, it will go into the old voice mode, the one we need. So let's open the voice mode now, and now we can interact with it via voice. Hey, can you tell me how much content do I have in the database?
Of course. You've currently got 33 articles, 17 social media posts, 15 videos. Is there a type you'd like to start with?
So as you can see, it gave me the numbers that I have in my database. It connected to Notion database and it retrieved the number of articles, the number of Twitter posts, and the number of YouTube videos into review status. Now let's ask the AI assistant to retrieve the first content piece. Hey, can you give me the next video?
The next video in your list is called Watch This If Your Website Gets Under 10,000 Visits Per Month by Ahrefs. It was published in late June 2024. Here's a quick summary. The video lays out a three-stage strategy to help websites grow from under 10,000 monthly visits to consistent, scalable traffic using SEO. Would you like more details on any specific section?
So usually after hearing the quick summary of the video, I will decide whether I want to go deeper or if I just want to mark it as completed. And if the video is particularly interesting to me, I will ask AI Assistant to provide me more details and give me the more detailed summary, which I will do right now. Hey, can you give me the very detailed summary of this video, please?
Absolutely. Here's a detailed breakdown of the video. Watch This If Your Website Gets Under 10,000 Visits Per Month by Ahrefs. The video opens by parts of an effective SEO approach.
You mentioning something called evergreen content. Can you please explain me what it is in simple words?
Yeah, totally. Evergreen content is just content that stays useful and relevant for a long time. Kind of like how evergreen trees stay green all year round. So instead of a blog post like Best Tech Gadgets of 2024, which will feel outdated soon, evergreen content would be something like how to change a flat tire or basic guitar chords for beginners. People will keep searching for those things month after month.
Can you please search on the web examples of perfect evergreen content pieces from other creators?
Evergreen content stays relevant over time, continually attracting readers. For instance, a How to Change a Flat Tire guide remains useful year-round. Similarly, Top 10 JavaScript Books for Beginners offers lasting value. These pieces provide timeless information, consistently engaging audiences.
So once I'm done with reviewing particular content piece, I can mark it as to consume or completed. And to consume would be the content that I actually want to watch later. For example, when I'm on the plane or when I'm on the train and I don't really have access to the internet, so I can do something offline. Or I will just ask it to mark it as completed, meaning that I drew everything I needed from this particular content piece and I can move on. Okay, mark it as completed, please.
Got it. That video is now marked as completed. The next one queued up is titled I Paid 0-Star Fiverr Freelancers to Rank #1 on Google, also by Ahrefs.
So as you can see, the AI assistant changed the status of this video to completed, and it immediately pulled the next one because this is how it's programmed. Whenever I change the status of the video or article, whatever I'm consuming at the moment, it will pull me the next content piece with the same type as I was consuming before. Now let's ask AI assistant to retrieve the next Twitter post. Hey, can you give me the next Twitter post, please?
Here's the tweet from Andy Crestadina. Like success in so many things, sometimes magic is just someone spending more time on something than anyone else would reasonably expect. Teller. It's a short, thoughtful reminder that extraordinary results often come from putting in more effort than most people think is reasonable. Would you like to save a note from this one?
If the tweet was too short and we didn't really understand what it was about, we can always ask AI Assistant to explain that to us in more simple words. Let's do that. I'm not sure if I understood what it is about. Can you please explain that to me in more simple words?
Totally. That quote is saying that what looks like magic or amazing success is usually just someone working really hard for a long time, way more than others would think is normal or worth it. So it's not some secret trick, it's just deep focus and extra effort behind the scenes. Does that help clear it up?
Yes, it does. Thank you. Please mark it as completed.
All done. That Twitter post is now marked as completed. Want to check out another one?
Now I will show you how to save notes in your Notion system. And to do that, let's pull up the next video and let's try to draw some insights from this video and save these insights as a note in the Notion system. Can you pull up the next video, please, and give me a quick summary?
This video is called I Paid 0-Star Fiverr Freelancers to Rank #1 on Google by Ahrefs, and it's quite a ride. Here's a quick summary. The creator ran an experiment to see if hiring brand new zero-review freelancers on Fiverr could help rank a new golf website on the first page of Google. He tried everything, from keyword research and AI content to backlinks and technical SEO audits using only these low-rated gigs. The results were a mix of comedy, chaos, and insight. In the end, he realized that trusting random freelancers without sticking to solid SEO fundamentals was a recipe for failure. Want to dive deeper into how each step of the project unfolded?
Can you please summarize the outcome of this project and save it as a note and link it to this video, please? So as you can see, the note was saved in Notion and it was linked to this video. And if I open this video here and click new content template, which will create Notion page from the template, I will also see this note from the video page here. It doesn't have transcript because I saved it based on the transcript, so it doesn't really make sense. But usually if I was rambling and just telling AI to save a note in a very messy words, then this messy words, the transcript of me saying these messy words would show up here as well. You can also use AI Assistant to save books or courses that, for example, someone tells you about and you think they are worth checking and you don't want to forget about them. You can just quickly capture them to your Notion system using AI Assistant. Let's do it now. Hey, I just heard about this great book, 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. Could you please save that in my system?
Got it. The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene is now saved in your system. Want to start taking notes on it or just keep it in the library for now?
So as you can see, the book was added, the title, the author, and it even gave it some description. So let's do it with the course as well, but let's say I don't know which course I'm saving because, for example, I'm looking for a course on Notion and I want to figure out which course I should do first and then I want to save it. So I can use AI Assistant to suggest me something. Hey, I want to expand my knowledge on Notion. Could you please propose me or suggest me some Notion courses that I could do?
To deepen your Notion skills, consider these courses. Notion Fundamentals by Thomas Frank, a free course covering the basics of Notion. Notion Mastery by Mary Pulling, a comprehensive program for
Okay, the first one sounds great by Thomas Frank. Could you please save it in my database?
Done. Notion Fundamentals by Thomas Frank is now saved in your course library. Want to start exploring it?
And of course, before saving it, I would ask more questions about the course, what the course is about, and I would do some research using my AI assistant. But for the sake of time, to not stretch this video too much, I just saved it to show you how it saves the course in Notion. So we have the title, we have the creator, and we have the description as well. So now you've got the full picture. You know how to use the Notion dashboard, how AI assistant works, and how to bring it all together into a system that actually keeps you informed, helps you learn faster and stay organized. If you don't have the system yet and you want to give it a try, there is a link in the description where you can grab both, Notion template and the voice assistant. If you enjoyed this, drop a like, subscribe or leave a comment below. I read every one of them, and if you have any questions about the setup, just hit me up there. And with that, happy learning, and I will see you in the next one.